Good morning. Welcome back to Casual Camping and Outdoors. Day 2 at the Sound of Swanee Music Park campground. We had a perfectly comfortable night. We woke up this morning and it was about 30 degrees outside, and we decided to walk down to the fishing pond and try our luck, which we didn't have any, and we forgot to take videos, so we got cold and we decided that we'll try again this afternoon. It's warmed up pleasantly now. It's mid-morning and it's about, I don't know, 60 degrees or so. Perfectly comfortable. And John, being John and having all the personality in the world, he found the playground and found some kids to play with. So I've got a few minutes here by myself tending the fire and thought I'd say good morning. So John and I are going to go for a hike in a little bit when he gets done playing. And after this fire burns down a little bit, we got a fire going. And we'll see what we can get into today. I hope you'll join us. John and I were out hiking along this dirt road and we found some raccoon prints. And right next to that we found deer prints. You can see the raccoons were walking along there. And I guess my shadow's kind of in the way. Just thought it was neat. We're back at the waterfall that we saw yesterday, except this time we're on the other side. Well, I am. John made it over there. And John made it over here. And John makes it back over there. And back over here.
It almost doesn't. Let's hope you don't fall in.
Wouldn't be the first time I've fallen into water. Something John and I wanted to talk about today is the importance of taking kids outside to experience the outdoors. John and I love being outdoors, and in today's world where we have a pandemic raging and gathering places are limited, and out here there's social distancing for miles. There's not another person probably within 500 yards of us. So social distancing isn't a problem, but I think it's important to get kids outside. Teach them to respect nature, to respect the outdoors, and to appreciate the beauty that nature provides. And something else that John and I wanted to talk about is special needs kids. Those of you that knows John knows he's a special needs child. He's perfectly capable of doing most things on his own, but occasionally needs a little help with things. And I'm going to step out of the camera frame here for a minute and let John talk to you about how being outdoors and being in nature is important to him, and how being a special needs kid has impacted his life during this pandemic. So, John, it's all yours.
All right. When I need to be outside because I have ADHD, and when you have ADHD, you have to get what's the word I'm looking for? Your energy out, because you don't want to be cooped up inside, and when you're quarantined, it really sucks. I've been quarantined and it really impacted my education and what happened, and it's very hard to deal with not going outside. And when you have ADHD, you have to get your energy out somehow, and I go outside, hang out with my friends, and it just sucks. This is why, it's one of the reasons why you should be outside. And special needs I really hate having like a lot of my things like Tourette's and ADHD because they really bother me with my education, but also at the same time I like being outside and having ADHD because I have enough wildness to just go hang out with my friends and yeah.
So what do you like about being out in nature?
Like being out in nature, it teaches me like what Paul said, understanding how to just respect it and what the beauty is. And yeah.
And look what John found as we were hiking through the woods. That is a pine knot. Oops, sorry. Shoddy camera work. And we can tell by the smell, and if you turn it over a little bit, John, you can see by some of the coloration, that pine knot looks like it's pure fatwood. That would be enough to start 100 fires. We just have to trim away some of the punk wood, the soft squishy wood that's around that knot, and I believe the inside we're going to find is some pretty decent fatwood. So what's it smell like, John?
Sap.
A little bit like turpentine. So, and that's how you tell fatwood is fatwood, is it's got a very distinctive turpentine-y smell. It's a terrific smell, but we'll show you this evening how to start a fire with a fire steel and a little bit of fatwood and gesundheit. Okay. Alright, so John and I found the Swanee River. This is the beach we mentioned in a previous video. It is swim at your own risk, and well, apparently there's climbing involved. And this is the beach. It's not huge, it's not like being out of the ocean, but that water is moving. Well, okay then. One more flip, you'd have gone swimming.
Should I keep trying?
And it must be nice to be young and agile.
What'd you say, Paul?
And the beach here is beautiful, and right up the road there's what they call the kayak outpost. You can rent canoes, you can rent kayaks, or if you have your own, you pay a small nominal fee and you can launch it there. And there's parking for your vehicle and your trailer and whatever you have. So you don't have to camp out here. You can just come out here for the day and use the kayak launch or the canoe launch or rent one and go up and down the historic Swanee River. Or you can just come hang out at the beach. It's a little cold today for swimming. It's about 60 degrees out here, so we didn't bring bathing suits, but John has been out here swimming before. This is not our first time on this beach, just our first time making video here. And like I said earlier, as you can see, social distancing, not a problem. There's nobody else here. Okay, here's that piece of wood that John and I found. We've kind of trimmed away a little bit of the excess non-fat wood. And what we've got left here is a little piece of fat wood. And what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of scrape this off a little bit and we're going to make some shavings. What's coming away first, of course, is the bark. And we're using the back of our knife blade. And you notice once you get inside, you got kind of this bacon color here, and of course it's got that fat woody smell. And we're just using the back of our knife. This is why for camping it's good to have a knife with a 90-degree spine. And we're just scraping. We're not even feather sticking. We're just making some scrapings. And in a little bit of time, we've got a nice little pile of shavings here. Now you notice we haven't scraped away 1/10 of that stick, but we got a nice little pile here. So we're going to take our $3 ferro rod. Now, people have told me that the correct technique is to hold the knife steady and pull. I can never seem to, just as I say, I can never seem to get it right. There it is. You notice how quick that lit up. You see this kind of a black smoke? That's how you can tell that's fatwood. It's because that pine resin in there, that turpentine smelling resin, is burning and it makes a black smoke. And that's a very rich fatwood. And with this bit of flame here, it would be no problem to get a campfire going. And this will burn for a while. And that took, I don't know, just a few seconds to scrape off some of that fatwood. But you can see that black smoke. So even if you just have a little piece like this, you take this kind of a little piece, this is just a little sliver of fatwood, and you can make enough shavings to get a fire started in good conditions in all of, just a few seconds.
We're definitely gonna have to clean your knife.
Yeah, it does make a mess out of your knife a little bit, that pine resin, but that's not a big deal. And again, we're using the back of the knife, and our knife has a 90-degree spine to make these shavings because we don't want to dull the edge with something that we can just use the spine with. And even with just a tiny little bit of shavings like this, scrapings, that's about the size of a quarter, give or take.
Oh gosh.
Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to do it. There we go.
Right as you spoke too soon.
And again, that's just, my thumb for comparison. That's a very small pile of scrapings of fatwood. And, if you got your kindling ready and you're using the fatwood as your tinder source and you got your kindling ready, it would be no problem to get a fire started. And that's just the bumped up pieces. So there you go.